hablar español o tenés ganas de hablar inglés?
Hablo inglés, por favor.
Okay. So the guy that imported this body running, but it runs like hell. It's just a mess. So we found out that the CPU, the aftermarket ECU that we're running, was a DPA from the UK. But this is a really old product, so it's not supported anymore. So we are changing that. And we have a wide mess.
Well.
We have it running.
Yeah.
Trust me, we have it running.
Just needs to be tidied now.
Yeah. A diagnostic plan, but it's not the same.
Hello everyone. Unfortunately, when Juan was telling me about here how he was remapping the bike, we were playing music in the background and YouTube gave me a copyright strike, and I don't know what was going to do to the video, which is unfortunate because the information he was explaining was really cool, and he went into great detail. But I'm just going to recap. He basically was telling me there's multiple things going on when you're remapping the ECU. It's not just like the engine throttle response. There's so many things that is going on. It's the fueling, it's the air, everything, and these are all overlaying on top of each other. And you can see there's like pits, there's these like concave kind of parts on the map, and it's showing like the acceleration of the motorbike, and you can see inside these pits. And this is most likely to get around the emissions for the Euro 5 and whatever other country that the Kove is being sold in the States or whatever, I don't know. But for this Euro 5 one, you can see these pits that he's basically had to map out. And then also for the acceleration from nothing going to something, that was another thing. So yeah, it's a shame we didn't get to have him explain to you, because it was very good. But yeah, I just don't want this video to be taken down or whatever. I don't know what happens with a copyright strike. But yeah. So the next thing is he updated the map and then plugged it back into the bike and then ran it again to see how it was performing.
On the stock one, you think that maybe going higher in the RPM range is going to keep the power going up. So that's what I thought. But when I saw the air mass map and changed that, no, the engine is doing peak power here and then it falls, which is normal in this engine. We were seeing this like that because we were being limited by air, not by RPM. So the shape of the curve changed, and here the difference is bigger. It's also more.
So now it's 100 and it was 90.
Yeah.
Is leaving it in sport, so I leave it in sport now?
You can.
Whichever, doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure that you do the same.
All right, cool.
Try them. We can switch and try them.
Cool.
I'll show you just in case.
Yeah, much better. Much better. Yeah, it's so much better. I'm still like guarding the clutch. I'm just so used to it. I don't have to do it anymore. Now we can just cruise along. There's a couple of crackles coming from the exhaust. He said the tank wouldn't go as far. There'd be like a minor decrease in the range. And like this bike was fine. You didn't have to get this remapped, but if you're going to be taking it off-road, then it's worth getting it now remapped.
Right there, we can right, there is a stretch like half a mile, but we can floor it and you can test it there.
Cool.
I'll catch you on the light.
yeah, okay. So the sound isn't going to sound as good because you're inside the helmet with me now, and I've lost the second mic. But you'll hear my reaction. So it was 90 horsepower. It's now 100 horsepower. Oh man. This is what the bike was designed to be like before the Euro 5 stuff. And Zhang has made quite the motorbike. When remapping it, there was all these like concave flat spots to get past the Euro 5. Kove knew what they were doing. And now it is past these flat spots. I don't have to do the clutch anymore. I'm a child. I'm enjoying the crackles. I'm not gonna lie.
Happy?
Yes, happy.
How does it go?
Yeah, it's so much better at the low speed and the high speed. Yeah, it's everything. Everything. It's way better everywhere.
Hello everyone. So I'm just going to give a bit of a recap of this. Remapping the bike, like the 100 horsepower is fun and all that, but it wasn't really about that for me. It was about the low end power and the kind of power delivery, just having it smooth and predictable. And it does now have that. However, going slow on the road and going fast on the road, whatever, through the streets or on the motorway, whatever, it's all fine now. Going relatively fast off-road is fine now. But going slow on off-road on very potholy roads is not fine still. And I was like, what's going on? And I realized there's a lot of play in the throttle. I'll actually just show you. So you can see here, it's idling, nothing. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hear the fluent Spanish there. So you can see there's a lot of play in the throttle. I don't know, is that my bike? Is it all the Koves? Is it because I put on heated grips? And I don't know, is that just the only reason still? But I think it's the next thing I'm going to have to address. There's upcoming videos, I'm trying to catch up in the editing, but there's upcoming videos where I was going down this potholy road and it was like boom, 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 boom. And it wasn't nice to drive. And I was kind of having to clutch again, and having to clutch where you're going, when you're trying to hold on again, isn't nice. And I think it's because you're trying to find where the actual acceleration is, was quite tricky. But I'll be honest, when you're going above like 10 kilometers an hour, 15 kilometers an hour, whatever, the bike's a lot of fun now. Like the predictability that is now mapped into the bike. I have an upcoming video in a bit, and it's fun. It's a fun bike. I think like we're nearly there, fixing this. I think the throttle might be a thing. If that doesn't fix it, I might throw in an extra front tooth, make a 16 teeth on the front sprocket. But overall, this bike is excellent. Like, it is worth trying to fix this, and I'll be the guinea pig. I think I've lost my fucking warranty anyway, by doing like the remapping and all the servicing myself and stuff. So I don't know, but I'll keep messing with the bike till I get it right, how I want it. It much better now. I just want to say that, okay? It is much better. And after we did the map, Juan invited me to lunch with his friends. Normally I'd say no to this kind of stuff, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I will. Screw it. Yeah, I will. Thanks. And yeah, we got some nice food, and when we were eating, I was telling him my concerns about not having internet when I'm traveling South America, because I'm running like a small e-commerce business, and I'm also want to upload these content, and the size of the files I'm uploading is like 20 gigabytes, and they confirmed that the internet is not good outside of Buenos Aires. So I knew that Starlink had just come out at the Starlink Mini, the Rome one, and the site was confusing for what happens in Buenos Aires, and like the lead time was like a couple of weeks, and where I was going to get delivered to, because I don't know where I was going to be. And next thing I knew, I was in a car with the Juliann and Juan, and
Someone is filming this. Damn, we're caught on camera.
yeah, they drove me to like this local electronics store, and then they did all the talking with the guy, explaining what I needed, put in their details so it would get delivered to their address, because I was chopping and changing, moving around to different places. Yeah, I was like, these guys were taking all this time out of their day from work doing this, and they were just the nicest, most helpful guys. When we went back to the workshop, one of my subscribers actually, or it was actually a few subscribers, spotted when I was doing the oil change on the bike. That went very well. Spotted that one of the pinch bolts was gone, and there's a latency for me uploading the videos now, and I'm trying to catch up. But when they spotted that, I was actually getting this bike remapped, and Juan was able to sort me out with a pinch, or to replace the bolt. But then he gave me a torque wrench, and I started checking the rest of the bike, and one of the other pinch bolts was loose. So there's 4 pinch bolts, 2 on each side, 1 from each side. One was missing from one, and another one was loose. Honestly, that freaked me out then, and I say Juan could tell. I was like, I need to check the entire bike, and I did. I got a torque wrench, and I went over the rest of the bike. I checked everything, anything visibly I could get a hold of to check the torque. And the rest of the bike was fine. There were some things, like any of the core parts, like the engine or the suspension, anything like that was very well torqued. But like smaller things, like holding the reservoir, like a couple of plastic things, stuff like that. Quality control could be improved there. I'm no longer freaking out. I think whoever was doing the front axle was about to go on lunch break, and I hope it's a one-off, it's an anomaly, because that shouldn't be happening on a bike. I wasn't impressed by it. But yeah, and I'm going to tell the good and the bad about this bike, because I hope Kove is listening, and other people that are thinking of buying this. Check the torque, check this kind of stuff. Like the axle was fine, but the pinch bolts, 2 of them weren't. So, and one other bolt was missing. I forgot to say this. So there's like these rad bolts, and one of them was missing. On the bottom right corner, and again Juan was able to get a nut and bolt for me, cut it down to size, and put it on for me. That was another thing. So out of the whole bike, there was 2 things missing: one of the pinch bolts, one of the rad bolts. I'll actually show it so you can check for yourselves. Hola.
¿Cómo va? ¿Todo bien?
Muy bien. That one was missing. So you can see Juan put one together for me. And here's my new pinch bolt here. So that one was missing. The rest of the bike is fine. There was one other thing I'm noticing. This has nothing in it. is that meant to have something in it? Can anyone that has a Kove check for me? Because there's one on the other side. And there's not one on this side. I looked at the pictures from when I got the bike and it wasn't on it then. So I'm like, is that meant to be like that? But why is there a hole there? So if somebody can find that out for me, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, so this is some of the stuff that is not good about the bike. But would it stop me from getting the bike? I'm a good bit ahead in the footage and I really need to catch up, but this bike has been really excellent to drive. It is getting really dirty now. The last thing I want to talk about is the armour. This is my armour. So I got the Alpinestars Tech Air off-road armour. I just say as well, I normally wear armour all the time. It feels as foreign to me not wearing a bike jacket as not wearing a seatbelt now. But what you're not seeing in a lot of the footage is it's a lot of driving in a congested city to get from A to B. You're driving an hour. And I'm cutting out all the bits where I'm stuck at the traffic lights, stuck behind cars. And there's a reason that there's nobody wearing armour in the city. Not even the police. It is exceptionally hot. There's no airflow. And nearly passing out from the heat and being very distracted brings its own dangers as well. So this was designed, much like the Kove's background, from the Dakar. So all the Dakar riders have to wear this, and it's excellent airflow when you're moving along, and it's very comfortable, and it's a dual airbag, so you can actually have it come off, the airbag will go off, protect you, but you've two canisters. So for each, my water's in the way. There's two deployments. There was an issue with these, but I hope to see in the next video where I'll explain more about this.